The future obviously is unknowable, but the idea that tariffs on these sectors would be accepted by Canada, that is a really big deal. Something that I think is really important to point out here is, I think that is a bad outcome for Canada to have permanent tariffs on our steel, aluminum, cars, and car parts, really harmful for those sectors. But I think it's a bad outcome for the United States as well. It's really important for people to recognize that you can lose by winning if you've defined winning in a way which is self-mutilating. I would say Brexit, the British decision to leave the EU, is a great historic example of losing by winning. And in this case, I think it's really important for Americans to understand that putting permanent tariffs on Canadian steel and on Canadian aluminum hurts U.S. manufacturing. These are inputs into the U.S. manufacturing sector, and you are choosing to make your own manufacturers weaker. The tariffs that were imposed in 2018, there have been a lot of academic studies on the impact, and the net impact was harming U.S. manufacturing. Aluminum tariffs, particularly self-harming, because aluminum is basically electricity in solid form. So the U.S. is basically imposing a tax on electricity. Canada and the United States build cars together. We've done it for a century, for more than a century. And imposing permanent tariffs on cars and car parts is really going to hurt Detroit. So, I think Canadians are real patriots, and Canadians want to support our Prime Minister in this really challenging time. But I think you're going to hear Canadian unions who represent workers in the car sector, in steel and aluminum, quite concerned.